folks, welcome back. Thanks for tuning in. We're back again here, work on this E36 this time. Couple of things to get done today. So we'll work on the prop shaft. I sent the prop shaft off to get balanced, and I got it back yesterday evening. I made a long drive up here from Cork, and yeah, so here we have it. We got new U-joints fitted. The old ones had play in it. I got new studs as well from BMW. This U-joint was changed as well. We changed the centre bearing. Beforehand, so that was done about a week or two ago. And we also got a new centre sleeve for the front of the drive shaft. Got that from BMW as well. So we will be fitting that one today. Fingers crossed everything goes well. Currently redoing the CV joints. I got this one knocked out. I didn't take this one apart because it has this here type cover on it as well. And I don't have a new one. If I go to start taking that one apart, I might bend it and I mightn't be able to get it back on properly. It looks fairly old there now, so I said I'll leave it. I changed the CV joint here, the boot, and got these done as well on this side. Came with new caps from Phoebe. I took as much of the old grease out of there that I could and packed it with new grease. So hopefully that's going to do it. The joint seems fine. There's no play in it. This one here, I took it apart completely. Cleaned out all the ball bearings and the races. So I still have one more to do. Don't roll off the bench. This one here. So what I do is I might video that one as well, so you can see how to do that. Basically the same principle really applies to the front as well as the rear. I just didn't want a chance taking this one off, and I won't do the same for the other one. So it'll have to stay on there. But at least that is something new on it. I got a couple of other goodies. So I got new transmission mount bolts from BMW. I got 4 new nuts for the rear half of the drive shaft on the diff side. What else did I get? I got 2 new nuts for the center support bearing for here. I will hopefully video all this, but what I'll do now is I will take the other drive shaft apart, and I'll video that. I'll more than likely just time lapse it, so you can see how to do that. It's a bit time consuming, but hopefully the second time round it'll be a bit better and quicker. So we'll get cracking at that. And yeah, I have the car jacked up now, so we are making a bit of progress. The bonnet is only sat on there for the time being to make a bit of space. I also got the diff sent over. It is somewhere in here, right? So never mind all this shit, but here we are. So I got my medium case cups that I can use, and I'll take the bigger ones off the diff that are on it at the moment, and then we can fit these as well with brand new bolts from special classic parts.de. I'll put their link in the description. All the bolts and nuts that were used on this build here were from there. So good crowd in Germany if you just want to check them out. Quality stuff. And yeah, so we'll knock that out of the park today, and tomorrow we'll probably fit the exhaust. I'm not sure if I get video on that this time around, but we'll get to use these here now, so we'll make use of them. That is all the stuff we need. that is all the stuff that we need for the other drive shaft or half shaft or CV axle or whatever you want to call it. I don't even know what they're called anymore at this stage. Everybody calls them something different. So yeah, we'll get cracking at that and see how we get on. Lads, please don't forget to subscribe and comment and like the video. Maybe if you just want to go back and check out some of the other work that we've done, it'd be greatly appreciated. We're at 65 subscribers so far, so appreciate you guys subscribing to the channel. So hopefully we'll reach 100 subscribers by the end of the month. That'll be our new milestone for the channel. Yeah, so without you guys, it's not possible. So please do that for us, and yeah, we'll see how we get on. So here, lads, you can see, hopefully you can focus properly. The way these come apart is there's a circlip here, right? Sort of an inner and an outer race, and there's your balls in here, your ball bearings. The way this comes apart and goes back together is each end here has either a small or a longer, shorter or a longer section to it, which then corresponds to either the short one to the long one or the long one to the short one, and that's the way you want to put that back together. And then you just get your circlip pliers and it flies away. Alright, wear your safety glasses for that one. But that's what they are. And I can go into the bin as we are getting new ones there. So I can go in a bin. So that's how they come apart. You basically just knock this center off the shaft, and then you have your lovely old dry greasy mess. What we'll do now is we'll take this boot off, slide it off, clean this one out as good as we can from the inside, leave this cap on, and we'll pack this with fresh grease, and we'll give these all a good clean, get rid of some of the surface rust here, take that on the good trusty old wire flinger, and once that's done, we'll put this all back together. I'll show you how to do that as well, and then we'll put the new boots on for the rear end, and we'll put the new boots on at the rear here, and that should be that shaft ready to go back into the car. And we'll do that then after. Get those nuts at the end here tightened up in the car as well, and we'll do all that later. But for now, we'll get into some dirty cleaning here. So I suppose I'll show you how to put this back together. So on this end here, you have sort of like a flat side, and here you have a bossed out side with your splines kind of tapered in the way, so that goes this way onto the shaft, right? This way here. So what we do is we have a race, everything's nice and clean. We drop this by in here, okay, and what we do is we drop this into that, okay, and then we line this up. So we're talking small side, large side, right? So short, long, long, short, and that kind of steps its way out here. So you have large, small, small, large, so over and back. So I'll try and do this with one hand, if I can. Probably won't, but what you do is you line up your race, the holes in your races, and try to get that ball in there, spin it around, make sure that's still the same, right? So you do the same with this race, move the race over as much as you can, and it gets tougher the more balls go into it. So I'm just going to have to do this camera propped up. So you kind of keep this all together. See if this is in focus or not. Right. Yeah, drop one in. The other one, drop that in. This is where it starts to get tricky the more I go into it. Let's take this one out. So now we'll have all this set up, so you can see that there, small, large, large, small, over and back, all our balls in, and that's the way it sits, right? So what I'll do is I will now, I could use, some people put grease on it straight away. I put the grease on once it's on there. So So whenever you have that in, there's like a little step in here. You can see that. That's where the circlip goes in. So that's looking fairly good now, boys. So here we are, circlips back in, everything's good. So we'll just use these bolts here to line up this back plate for these holes. I made the mistake with the other one, I whacked it on and the holes were completely out of line, so use them just to guide it and then just gently tap it back in, and we'll then put the front cover on, and then we'll just kind of tap this down around just to kind of give it that sort of grippy kind of clamping force on it. And I suppose whenever this gets bolted in, it'll do most of the actual sealing of the grease within it, so it doesn't come out through this little gap. So we'll do that now, and we'll have to tighten up all these clamps. I made the mistake in the last one as well not to push these on. I don't like these at all. These little pull ones, they're kind of stupid. Yeah, put this one on as well up here, and I got myself one of these pliers for this. One of these. So that is used to clamp this down. I might see if I have second-hand ones of these somewhere for this, because I just don't like them. We'll see how we get on. So we'll just finish this off first, and then we'll be ready to put them into the car. I'm excited for that. That kind of means that the rear half is ready to get put back together. The exhaust can come back on tomorrow, you know, once they're in, and that drive shaft there, and that'll be a breeze to put in. Shouldn't be that much of an issue. yeah, so we'll get cracking with this here and get this finished up. All right. So that's that done. Got this on. Just trying to get it on as best as possible. It looks like there's a bit of a gap there. I'm not sure if that matters or not, but I'll give that another couple of whacks and see kind of get it down. Just marked it a small bit, but sure, I don't think it's going to matter. Always going to see that's going to be on the inside of the diff flange or output flange. So we get these all buttoned up, these little clamps. See what I can do here. See if I find other ones, and that's 2 shafts finished, and then we'll get them mounted in. Alrighty. Hi folks. Drive shafts are fitted. I didn't film it. It was a bit of a pain. It was a bit of a pain in the hole. Not gonna lie. But here we are. Oh, let me get into the car here. They're in. Brand new hardware from Special Classic Parts. Same on this side. Shafts are in, and I don't have a big enough Allen at the moment to tighten and torque them up, so I'll get them off my buddy tomorrow, and we can get this buttoned up. The prop is in, so that was a bit tough now with the shaft trying to spin the whole time. Got these nuts on as well, brand new nuts, 69 newtons. I don't have a crow's foot attachment, so I had to guess it. I ran into an issue. One of these splined bolts started spinning. Lucky enough, they had a flat spot, so I could get a breaker bar in there to hold it. So yeah, that wasn't fun at all. So I didn't see the point in filming it. But yeah, the way to do this is just a tip. You basically hang this up. So get this fitted up here. Get the rear half fitted. Hang the center support bearing loose, and leaving this adjuster nut loose as well, so the shaft can move over and back as you tighten it, and it then sits where it wants to be once everything is tightened up. Once you have each end at the front and at the diff side as well tightened, you then tighten up the center support bearing, which gives it the last bit of movement in here, and then you tighten this down. So you go hand tight, and then you get, I don't know, like a pipe wrench or whatever size socket that is, or spanner that is, and you tighten it up another little touch. So hand tight, and then another little turn or two after. So you're talking 10 Newton meters here. And once that is tightened, you loosen this up again. So this bolt and this, or this nut and this one, you let it hang, and you preload it 4.5 to 5 mil forward to take some of that slack off in that bearing. You then hold it and tighten them up. That should be it then. Trying to keep the shaft centered in the tunnel as best as you can. I still have to measure that to see did it work out for me or not. It looks to be okay, but you never know, so I'm gonna check this out as well. Also got new bolts fitted here and here. If in case I have to shift this, I'll just have to loosen them up, drop it down a bit, get a bar, move the transmission over to where I want it to be, and then tighten them up again. But I think we're okay. So everything else is done here. The next thing is the heat shield, which will have to come on. And then we are ready for the exhaust. This is a struggle on lying on your back on the cold ground, but here we are. We work with what we got. Let me get out from underneath this. Oh. Yeah, so that was that. So we basically have a spare diff now. It's another medium case, nice and crusty, but these are the larger cups that I had to remove from the diff that's in the car. So now we have spare diff. I also got 2 new Driveshaft nuts, but as it turns out, they are way too big for this. So I have to reuse the old ones. I have to make a call on these. These don't look too tasty on this side. I have other ones, the heads are a little bit better, so I might have to reuse these. I haven't torqued them down yet. I still have to find a torque setting for it. I've seen 1 or 2 torque settings and they seem scary kind of high. Let me see. I'm not sure. I think it's this one here. Says that it's 300 newtons. So M27 nut. So I'll have to see what size that is. M27 nut. So it's a 27 mil socket, but I don't know if it's an M27 nut in terms of diameter internal. So I'll have to figure that out. 300 newton seems very scary for those fine threads. So I'll have to see what call I'm going to make there. But for now, that is it. Until tomorrow, till I get the exhaust fitted. And then we can let the car down, torque up the rest that we need to torque up. And yeah, it's never ending. It's 1 o'clock now in the morning. I'm going to tidy up some of these tools and go home to my brother's, and I'll see you guys in the morning. Right lads, so we got the heat shields in this morning. It is late again. It's nearly 12 o'clock. But yeah, we got, just to show you, we got the exhaust back on. Used new gaskets there. Got all the heat shields in. The heat shields in underneath. Exhaust is hang. Yeah, so that's that done. And we grab the light. Yeah, so we got the Allen socket that I needed. So they're all torqued down, same as on the other side. So that's good news there. There's the exhaust up. So that's all sorted. The only thing I couldn't find the heat shield that goes above that. So unfortunately, this will have to do without it for now. Hopefully it doesn't melt the new shuts underneath or the undercoating. Fingers crossed, but I'm sure we'll come across it eventually, and I'll get it fitted then. It's just a matter of loosening down the bracket and pushing it up over it. Should be all right. Also painting this crossbar for underneath. I'll get that fitted tonight as well. And got these nuts here impacted on. 200 newtons is what I went with. So that should be okay. Once it's on the ground, I'll torque them down. They're only impacted, so currently taking off this masking tape residue. It's coming up nicely, same as on this side. We're getting there with that. Still a couple of specks here and there, so I'm just going to tidy up the frame, give that quick lick of paint, let that cure, and then she should be ready for a windscreen. Once the windscreen is in, we should be ready to go and drive. That'll more than likely happen in the next video. I didn't get filming much of the stuff that I done. It was a bit time consuming and not really that interesting, so it is what it is. I'm here on my own. Marcus is on holidays at the moment, so it's a bit tougher that way. But yeah, I'd say I'm just going to leave it at that, guys. I really appreciate you guys tuning in again. Please don't forget to subscribe and like and comment. Let's aim for 100 subscribers this month. Alright, much appreciated. See you later.